Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest show on earth, or at least, on this Facebook group right now. I am here again, once again, with my good friend Rohin Dua. We are going to be talking about some cool SEO stuff, and I'm just talking to myself right now because nobody's on just yet, but we will be on in just a minute. So, Rohin, how's it going, buddy?
Good, man. Good. How's everything?
I literally could not be better.
Oh, right. No, that's the way to go, man.
Absolutely.
We just need to be better. For me, it's about 9:30 at the moment. I think for you, it's just the start of a day, isn't it?
It's noon, so kind of.
Yeah, noon. So pretty much. That's what I normally do. I usually start around 12 to noon and work like 3 to 4 hours, and then take a small break, and then go for the next session for a few hours, and that's it.
That's interesting. I used to have that kind of routine, but now that I have like certain staff, I have to kind of be up at like 8 or 9 to work with them, and then I have the developers that are over in India where you are, so I have to talk to them. It's like 2 a.m. So
yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
If you guys are on, let me know if you can hear and see us okay. We want to make sure that the sound and the video is okay. And then once somebody confirms that for me, I'm going to toss it over to Rohin, who is going to show you some cool stuff, and we'll go from there. But yeah, there's a few folks rolling in now, so let me know when you're on if you can hear and see okay, and then we'll get it going.
Oh, great.
Just check one other thing. Florin says, "What's up, guys?" What's up, Florin? Always a pleasure, buddy.
Hey, Florin.
Check one other thing, and then I'll kick it over to you. Jim says, "Hey, everyone." Hey, Jim. It's been a
hey,
minutes
hey, Jim. What's up, man?
Says it's all good. Good. Jim's favorite musical artist, this is a little known trivia, is Vanilla Ice.
Oh.
So, all right, I guess we can go ahead and get it going because we don't want to keep the live people let the live people get bored. If you happen to be catching this part of the way through, you can check it out the replay. Jafar says, "Hi, how are you doing, Rohin and Chris?" Doing well, Jafar. Thank you.
Doing good, Jafar.
Aaron Phillips says, "Yo, what's up, Aaron? Always a pleasure." And I'm going to toss it over to you, dude. Go for it whenever you're ready. Barack says, "Hey, guys."
Yeah, sure. All right. So today's session is all about manage SEO campaign. In the last few sessions, we covered all about on-page, how to do the on-page, what kind of backlinks is something we need, how we can do them on a scale. And then it comes up to connect all those dots together, like when we are getting a client on board. So I'm not going to talk about like how to get the clients. This is not my specialty. Probably Chris is a better person for that. So, but once we get the client, how we need to go about step by step to get all the details, everything from them, and then we need to roll out to our team so that they can start working on it, and how we have to do the reporting. And during that particular time, I'm gonna touch as a 360-degree reporting structure which we have built. It's really helpful. It's very helping us to get the clients on the retainers, because I think I mentioned in my last live stream is most of the time what the SEO agencies they actually do is they pick few keywords from clients and they put them in a rank tracker. They show them every single month, like, all right, these are the keywords we are working on. And then sometimes, a lot of fluctuation or something happens. So the keywords go up and down like a roller coaster. And that's where the clients, they do get shitty and they say, all right, we are going away. So it's very hard for SEO agencies sometimes to actually put the clients on retainers. And this is what we are going to cover today, because with 360-degree, the reporting structure which we have built, you're going to show them, yes, although these keywords are taking a time to come up to the page one, but we have got a lot of impressions, a lot of different details we can show you, which can prove that you need to get with us every month and you have to pay the bills. So let's jump in. I'm going to do a screen share now. And at the end, we're going to cover any kind of questions, something we're going to show you guys what kind of packages, something we have got, which can help you out in case you want to jump on board. All right, so, okay. So that's how to manage SEO campaigns effectively. That's our Facebook group we have got. Chris is admin up there too. So yes, definitely would love to see you guys up there. All right, so next thing is ranking screenshot. So let me just start with this. All right, so these are few of the ranking screenshots. I've got a big rank tracker, which I can show you as well. So I think I've already opened that one too. So as you can see, for this particular client, it's SEO services. It's a nationwide client. We started off with position number 16. In under 2 months, we got them at position number 1. And I will share with you one of our technique which we use, which has given a very good results. So stick to the end, guys. Definitely this is gonna help. So, and for this particular position number 8, and now the client is position number 4. Number 18, now the client is number 6. That's all like this nationwide keyword. So they are actually targeting the country. So let's say if it's Australia, so it could be like SEO services Australia. Now this is another client. They came on board. They tried few different services. And I think it's a second reporting what we have done now. We started off with position number 5, position number 1, 2, 3, and now we are working on the very last page, which is the Adelaide one, which is 53 position, and now it's going on position number 28, which is good. It means the efforts are coming in. We can't really focus on all the pages altogether because obviously the client should be having a limited budget. We cannot really spend all the budget and make the profits out of that too if we throw in all the backlinks, everything to all the single page. So we picked up pages by pages, but now we have started working on their main pages, which is this one and 2 other pages. All right, so this is a case study I'm going to cover, and I'll show you guys exactly what we did to get this client from when he came on board. So that was somewhere up here, and then what we did. All right, so the client is basically they sell iPhones, so refurbished iPhones, Apple iPhones, all kind of things. They came on board, and we picked their campaign. We noticed first of all like what the client site is talking about. So we asked them to give us their GSE, Google Search Console, Google Analytics, to do a complete site audit. The reason for GSE and GA was so that we can pick it up, which pages are giving them the impressions, which pages are giving them basically any kind of clicks, what kind of queries GSE can actually pick it up, which client might hasn't used properly in their pages. So that was the overall idea. So we picked that one, we drilled all the information together, we threw them in Rank Tracker. So Rank Tracker is a Rank Tracker SEO power suite. That's the only software which can pull in your information from Google Search Console. So you can attach your Google Search Console, you can attach your connect your Google Analytics, add all, they're gonna fetch all the keyword queries, everything. You can add more keyword queries if you want. Press the button, they will show you all the impression, likes, or gonna collect all the data. But the best part is you can actually see the search volume for those keywords as well inside Rank Tracker. So that tells us straight away, all right, the client is sitting at position number 10, but this keyword has got like that much search volume, which the client hasn't really targeted properly.
Still there? I think we might have lost you. Okay, well,
in that particular page, whatever the page Google Analytics or in the last live stream, and then we put them all together. That's the first thing what we did. The second thing what we did, we went to Href. So Href, go to organic keywords on the left hand side, and then we picked up the quick wins. Quick wins for the keyword like position, the keywords which are sitting at position number 5 to 20. And those keywords are like a low-hanging fruit, something which we can optimize properly in the pages. We can blast some backlinks to those pages, and those keywords gonna climb up really quickly over time. So it's rather than just working on some of a keyword which is sitting on, let's say, position number 80, I would probably target them with the quick wins, which I know can go up to the page 1 with very less effort, maybe. That depends on what kind of keyword it is, and so maybe it's a possibility that the keyword has got a lot of search volume, but they are very competitive as well. So that depends on keyword to keyword, but this is how we use Href to find those golden nuggets and start working on them. And then what we did, so we picked up the pages. We asked the clients to actually, if they are okay with these particular pages, we picked up all those low-hanging fruits. We picked up the impressions, clicks, everything, all the information from from rank tracker. So all this information was there. So we put them all together, connected all those dots. So right off the bat, it was super easy for us to start working on the campaign.
Hey, Rohin.
And this is one reason. Sorry?
Somebody was saying your screen was frozen. You still have the case study page on your screen?
Yeah, I still have that case study page going on.
Okay.
So all right. So this is where we started picking up. So as you can see, the spikes, that's how it's starting going up. So maybe a little decline because of the recent update. And then, yes, that includes how we disable the links. So yes, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I was trying to talk in my last screens as well. We need data. We need data to just collect all the data, read the data, and get on the page one. At the same time, we even looked at what the top 10 results were saying. So let's say if for top 10 results, they are saying that 8 out of 10 URLs are inner pages. So it means that we need to go and build an inner page for that particular one because that's what the Google wants to see. So there was a quick case study, and the results, I guess they all talk all about itself now. And then this is a workflow, how we do it when we get any new client on board. So let's say the client is coming on board. We need to take client intake information from them. We need to set up an invoicing system for them so that the recurring billing is going to happen every month. A lot of time people ask like what kind of recurring billing software they use. They sometimes go with the Stripe. They send out the information every single month or different kind of apps. People, they usually call me like as a tool guy because I've tried every single tool available in the market, what I think so. So I've tried so many tools over the time, and then I freeze some of the tools which I think is giving me the best output with the less pain. So, and in the next slide, I'm going to share all the tools which we use. So we set up the invoicing system for them. We put on all the payment side. And as soon as the client going to pay the invoice, they'll get inside the dashboard. This is where they're going to see their client intake form. We'll go and ask them to give us all the information which we want in the client intake form. It's a pretty detailed one where we ask them for all the owner emails and everything which we need to actually get in citations. That's the information. And then once that part is done, the next part of the flow is where we go and ask them that to provide the GSC and Google Analytics access so that we can understand the site structure properly. We need to collect that data. And this is where we take all this information, we give them a proper ID, and that's something you guys can do as well. And then once that part is done, we take all this access like GSC, Google Analytics access, we hook them together in a data studio, which I'll show you guys just after this one. And that picks up all information. We share that in a monthly reporting. We share that live URL with the client so that they can go and they can see anytime, even with the client public URL as well. So check website ranking and create public URL. This is where you need to, because see what kind of queries normally the people give us. They say how can they go and check the rank tracker? We tell them, all right, this is a rank tracker URL, so you need to go and check all by yourself. You don't really need to come and ask us if you want. Yes, you can, but we are giving you an access for pretty much everything. So this is all this part is the initial task what we do, and we usually try to build them in a very probably in 2 to 3 days, because that's where the client gonna say, all right, there is a momentum going on, and they usually be very happy to get all this information, especially Data Studio. And then once that part is done, this information, the client intake form, it's a Gravity form. Gravity form has got a direct integration with the Trello, so all this information goes directly in our Trello board, and this is where they go and tag our team leads as well. So and then the team leads, they know, they go and set up the client structure. So all this one, what you did, you just send one link, everything is going through the flow. Everything is going flow. You even don't need to worry about this GSA. That's where you need to prepare one of a response, and even this invoice setup thing, I'll show you, and that thing has already got all the key response features as well. All right, so once that part is done, we go and do the site audit. We go and fix all the landing pages, like I said in the last case study. we optimize we fix their redirects, we fix any kind of optimized hashtags, and adding new content, everything. Eliminate harmful links. Yes, that's very, very important, guys. A lot of time it happens when some agencies, they doesn't really know properly, and what they do is they just blast out a big chunk of backlinks to the website, and this is where the problem comes up. So we go and look at all the backlinks. We take them via href, we take them via SEMrush, and we even take them via GSC as well. So href has got some kind of add-ons which can pull in the data in Google Sheet. So it's super helpful. Once that part is done, we know we have already fixed up everything, and that part we already do in the very first month. So in my agency, I'm like, we have got a very clear instructions to our boys that whenever they get any new client on board, we always try to do all these tasks and get them done in the very month one. So all the on-page part gets done in the month one. We never try to actually put them in the month two. So that's all, because month two, we want to focus on what changes are coming in for the work we did in month one. We do a proper campaign review, and then we start building the backlinks from them, because we know the main part is done. Now we need to do the backlink part. So we build the backlinks, we build citation, local events links. That's super helpful. Just go to Google, type in event, add an event with your location, like it's a Canada or something. So it's something you can do it, and you're gonna find out like heaps of sites which do accept local event links. So yes, something you can do it. Foundation links, branded links are super good for, because Google has got a big crush on brands, and foundation link is helpful for topical and geographical relevancy. All right, this part is done, and then we keep on monitoring the search engine rankings, like I said, and then we keep on adding. Whenever we see the new opportunities in by Rank Tracker or Google Search Console, we try to start adding them nicely into our pages. And over the time, you're gonna see they give you very, very good results. So no complicated stuff, because a lot of time what we have seen is agencies that try to complicate the things. You don't need to complicate it. Just make it as easy as possible for your team to do it, because by the end, it's the team who has to do it, not us. So we should make it as easy for them. So build the SOPs. For SOPs, yes, I like to mention what I normally do is we install WordPress on one of our subdomains. You guys can do the same thing too. And there is a knowledge-based theme. I think it's knowledge all. Just install the theme, start creating the SOPs on that. So that next time when you get any new client on board or any new team member, you add a new staff member, you can tell them for any issues, they can go and refer those documents. So add videos in there, screencast. So that's one-time work you need to do, but it's gonna pay off all by itself over time. So it's super helpful. We have drilled down, I think, the videos for every single thing. You can mark it no index, so the subdomain, and you'll see the results out of it. So that's we will keep on building more backlinks and to achieve the results. All right, so tools we use. Customer management and invoicing, we use spp.co. I've used so many tools over the years. I've tried WooCommerce. I've tried like different tools, some highly paid ones as well, Basecamp, all those. But spp.co is one of the best tools what I've seen available in the market. It's not expensive as well. I think it's for like $40 per month. But that tool, this tool is gonna do a lot of work. You won't miss any kind of invoicing. All the invoicing is gonna, if it's a one-time or custom invoice or recurring, SPP gonna handle everything by itself. They have got webhooks, they have got Zapier. So it's one of the best tools. Client communication, the interface is so good that the client communication, you can do it if you are getting any email and you are not on your.
Rohin, you still there, buddy? Looks like you froze again. Can you give it a second or two?
Computer, you can simply reply from email agencies. So real-time reporting, we use Data Studio, which I'm going to show you after this one. Rank trackers, AccuRanker or SubRobot, and both of them do create public links. So create the public links and give to your clients in the very first time. Screaming Frog and the Rank Tracker, and so Rank Tracker is by SEO Power Suite. That's a company whose Rank Tracker we use. It's a good one. It's a desktop-based application. All right. So with SEO analysis, href.com is my favorite one for in-house stuff. We have got all inbuilt crawlers. We have got Python scripts because we try to automate as much as we can. CRM, like I said, Gravity Form feeds goes directly to Trello. And then you need to go and add your team leads into Trello, and then they're going to run the whole show. Although you can check it out, Gravity Form has got a lot of things. Yes, one thing I like to mention up here is, although we are doing all the communication up here, customer management, we are doing via SPP, but you still need to keep adding a value to the client. And this is where you, inside Gravity Form, if you are taking it, or even with SPP, you can connect them with Active Campaign. They've got an Active Campaign integration as well, and then create an automation in Active Campaign, so that it probably gonna drip feed every single week and add some kind of case study or whatever you want, because you doesn't know the potential of that client. Maybe the agency is starting out with just one single project, and maybe they've got a lot of projects on board, or maybe it's a nationwide client. They're starting it with one location, and they probably can add more locations. Yes, they're gonna see the overall results over time, but you still can warm up that particular lead with email automations. So usually people don't do that, but highly recommended. We always do it. Whenever we get this thing, as soon as they get access to the customer panel, they get to our automation series, and then every single week we try to warm them up with any kind of information. You just build out 8 to 10 case studies only. Just keep feeding them with the case studies. Whatever you think is good as per your audience, just go with that. All right, so reporting structure. I know a lot of people do use different kind of tools and all that. I'm a Google Sheet lover, so what I do is inside SPP, very first month when we do the reporting, we tell them, all right, hi, this is your month 1 reporting, and then we paste this Google Sheet link up here. So what the client gonna do is they'll go to this Google Sheet, this sheet gonna come up, they're gonna see in the month 1 what stuff we are going to do, and if they want to see business citations, so they will click on this particular link which is up here, and they can even see what citations we built for them, what kind of what logins, recovery details, everything is up here, so that they in down the track, if they have to go and make any kind of changes, they probably can do, or ask their VA or something, like they can do it. Or if they are switching on to some other agency, let's say in case, they should be having all the stuff. So be transparent with them. Just tell them that you are getting all the, we are not hiding anything with us. So it really gonna help. With guest posting, we go and paste guest posting links up here. That's the same thing. So that's how we do it month by month. Every single month we paste the links. And by the way, this is a rank tracker link. We send them so that they can go and check it out. Data Studio we are giving them. And then the project reporting is where all these files gonna get saved to. So this reporting system is has worked for us. We are managing so many campaigns, and this is one of the most easiest one I've seen, because the same message you are sending, you just need to, by the end of the month, you need to copy paste as a new message in SPP for the same client. You don't need to go and find a new link every time, or you're telling them to go inside your dashboard and try to do it. Yes, you can do it if you want, but I simply love Google Sheets. So I'm trying to automate a lot of more things into that, so you can try the same thing what I reckon. With 360-degree reporting panel, and that's the very last slide. So let's go and open up this particular link now. So guys, I've got this this link up here. So it's a white label for the client. As you can see, they came on board in the last 1 month. We can show them, all right, this is where they are going, what kind of everything. That's all the information is from Google Analytics and Google Search Console. We're not really doing any fancy stuff. We are just pulling in that information. And the best part is this is 100% live data. So whenever they're going to refresh it, as soon as they do it, it's a live data up here. So all this stuff, they can see everything, whatever they want. You can always go and add more information. SEM Rush has got data studio connector. You can go and put in that one as well. That way you can actually show them the rankings too. So that's all the stuff you can see. They can see what pages, what bringing them results, cities, and all that. So when we show them this kind of reporting structure, they're probably gonna be very, very happy, I reckon. because this time they're not just looking at those 6 keywords. They're looking at the overall picture. They're looking at what kind of revenue or something the whole thing gonna bring them to their agency. And this is how we do it. It's working for us, and I'm sure if you guys use the same kind of a pattern, it's probably gonna work for you guys too. And then we have got some other campaign review. This is where we go add notes. This is where we go add all the backlinks. So it just, we have connected this particular one with Google Sheet. So it just pulls in the data. We go and update that sheet. It pulls in the data up here. The same thing you can go it. And there are plenty of guys. I'm sure Legit should be having some data studio guys too. You can go and hire them. You can tell them your requirements, and they're gonna prepare a data studio for you guys. All right. So before we knock it off, that's one of our reporting panel we have got for ourselves, for our clients. And then you can see, like I said, there is one technique which we have tested recently, and it's giving us super good results at the moment. So at the moment, let me just, because it's all time, so rather probably because not all the clients are that long. So let's go with this one. So you can say what kind of ranking changes everything has come for this client when they started, and they are stick with us. You pick it up any client you want. Let's say pick it up AOT bins. So you can see when they came on board like 6th of March, what kind of rankings everything is going on now. So what is a Bing change, what is a Google change, that kind of things. And by the way, this reporting panel is agency analytics. This is a client panel which I'm using because that's the one they have been using for a long time. It's an Australian agency. It's good. So Broker Co, same thing. You can check it out. So all right. So that the hack kind of thing. What I was going to show you guys before we knock it off, because trying to add a bit of a value in this session too. And I think I did cover in last live stream too. What we did is when we are doing the guest posting thing, and that's the same advice Chris has started following with the guest post service too. And we are trying to actually focus on the keyword rather than, let's say if my keyword is SEO Melbourne, I'll try to put that keyword in my main heading tag in the very first 100 words in a close proximity to my anchor text. And by the way, we use branded as an anchor text these days, and try to put them in your meta title and in the URL as well. So when you are sending out the request to your blog, to the blogger for guest posting, try to tell them that this is what we need. We need a keyword in a meta title. So obviously, if you're giving them an article, they probably be having, you need to tell your writer about it, that you need your Melbourne SEO, let's say the keyword in guest post title. You want in the first 100 words. You want in a close proximity to your branded anchor. Try the branded anchor. And when you are sending out that particular article to blogger, ask them to put meta title, the keyword in the meta title and in the URL if possible. I understand maybe Melbourne SEO in the title won't really good. By the end of the day, we need rankings as well. So it's not something we're gonna go after the cosmetic kind of thing, like every time we need a perfection in every article we publish. We need, at the same time, we need rankings for our clients too. So try this technique, it's working for us. Even this month also, we have sent out literally hundreds of guest posts using the same technique, because and for the past 2 months, it has worked great. Try it, you won't be disappointed with that. So that's all about it, guys. Apart from that, I'm going to stop this sharing, and Chris gonna tell you about the done for you packages. We are going to open up another lot for this, and I would be happy to see you guys on board. All right, all to you, Chris.
All right, I think before we get into that, we'll go ahead and take some questions. But before we do that, let's everybody please take a second and thank Rohin for walking through that. That's a question I get a lot. And frankly, I don't do thorough client reporting myself. So it's good to see how he goes about it and how he gives information to people that need it. So do me a favor and just say thanks, Rohin, somewhere in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook, whatever. And let's see what we got for questions. Keith said, looking forward to this. Let's see, where do we leave off? Florence says, don't mind me, guys. I'm preparing my 1 million questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Randy says,
That's all right, Florence.
Great stuff. Eduardo says, hi, guys.
Here.
Gary says, hello, guys. What's up, Gary? James says,
Hey,
happy
Gary.
days. I could do with this soon. Awesome. Shazad says, nice to hear you too, Chris. Thank you, Shazad. Nice to see you guys again from Raj. Florence says, how much would you charge for a one job like this for a normal site? A one job. Do you mean, I'm not sure what you mean by a one job. Raj says, great stuff. Brack says, thanks, guys. Randy says, thank you. That was incredible. Jafar says, how to acquire the first 5 customers. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. It just depends on your situation, your strengths, what you want to offer. I mean, the best thing to do I think would be to offer something very inexpensively or free in exchange for a case study and a testimonial, and then just use that to get momentum. What would you think to get your first client? What would you tell somebody?
For me, all right, the first client is obviously, people want to see a value. For me, the geographical location was a bit of a problem when I moved back from Australia back in 2014. And then I started, rather than working with one-to-one like roofers and dentists, that's what I started, but it was a pain. Then I started working with agencies. Now, all the agencies, they are actually in the Facebook community. So try to actually add the value in the Facebook community. Try to show them that you have got knowledge and they're going to probably hire you over time. That's with SEO agencies. Now, if you got like, let's say clients like roofers or something, it's a very good thing. What I reckon is build your own sites. That's we did. We built out some dentist site for Adelaide and those areas, because I did my studies, everything from Adelaide, so I know that area very well. So we built those sites, we got them ranked. We started getting queries from people. We spoke to those guys, and we asked them if we can do the work for your projects too. This is how I acquired my thing, because I was having kind of a limitation, but yes.
Awesome. Akshay says, thanks, Rohin. Dude is always dropping that fire. Barack says, Rohin, when you coming back to Adelaide?
Not sure, because we got all our stuff going on in Brisbane and Melbourne these days. So not sure about Adelaide, but Barack, I'll definitely ping you, man. I'll connect with you on Facebook.
Manny says, thank you, Rohin. It's been very exhaustive. Local AdWords SEO tools. There's your free plug. Says, thanks, Rohin. Love the branded anchor tip. Raj says, can we connect to Google Analytics to track how many visits you got for that keyword?
Yeah, I think you can. Google Analytics is pretty deep, and you can definitely go and see a lot of stuff into it. So yeah, that's a different thing in itself.
Okay. Florian says, I mean, an audit and fix what you found on that example, but without further monthly maintenance. I don't know if you have a one-time audit service or not, do you? I don't think you do.
No. We are not really running any audits these days.
I've tried that before, but it's just it takes too much time to do at scale.
Yeah, that's true, because you need to collect a lot of data from everywhere. So that's why I reckon that if you follow my last session, you're probably gonna bit of you try that sheet, Google Screaming Frog, that sheet, and the different tools. You probably can find a lot of stuff via that too.
Okay.
But
says how to scale with the right people. I don't mean this to be mean, Jafar, but if you're just worrying about getting your first clients, you don't have to worry about scaling yet. They get those clients, and then we'll talk about how to scale and how to build out a team and stuff. But I think a tip that I can give in general is not to worry about problems that you don't have. So if it's not a problem for you yet, let's let that be tomorrow's problem, and keep your mental focus on what today's issue is. And if that's getting your first clients, then that's the time to do that. So that's kind of my take on that. So I hope you don't take that the wrong way, but I think that's probably, if you're worried about getting your first clients, you don't need to worry about how to scale. So Akshay says, are you using different Google Data Studio templates for different types of businesses?
Not really. You don't really need to. All you need basically a presentation kind of a way to pull in data from Google Analytics and Google Search Console and present them to a client. So Data Studio template gonna be the same. That's what we do. We don't really go and change it. You just need to attach the connectors when you go and create for a new client. So when we go and create a new client, we usually go and copy our template, and then we attach the client's Google Search Console and Google Analytics to pull in all the data. So the template's the same. It's just the connectors and different data source.
Awesome. Javar says, okay, understood. Tomislav says, hey guys. Hey, what's up, Tomislav? Always a pleasure to see you and your super happy dog. So Rohin's shown you guys a lot of great information over the last few weeks, and he'll be continuing to come back from time to time. Well, regularly. But, if you think that it's great, you want to do it on your own, we have provided you that opportunity. That's why we've given you all this great information. If for some reason, if you prefer to get it done for you, we do have a service that you can check out as well. So it's kind of our white label / DFY SEO service that we've had going for, I guess, about 2 years now. But we've only ever taken a limited number of people, and I haven't really pushed it all that much because I wanted to make sure that we had our processes and our systems and everything in place to where we could make sure that we offered it. So I've only really been offering it to students and a handful of other people, but we're going to start offering it a bit to the public. It's kind of our monthly SEO campaign that you can white label for your clients or use on your own sites, and just kind of have Rohin and I manage and do everything that we've been showing you over the last, I guess, month or two that we've been doing these now. So if you want to check that out, it's I dropped the link in the chat. I'm going to get a better link for it here in a minute, so it'll be easier to remember. But you can check out the different plans. They're broken out into a 6-month cycle. I should probably clarify that doesn't mean it stops after 6 months. That's just to give you kind of an idea of how it works, because that has been a problem with some folks. Not a problem, but a point of non-clarity, I guess, for some folks. But these are the different packages: 1 URL and up to 3 keywords at $447, $647, and $847. And the great thing about it is that you can take it and just sell it to your clients and not even show them this. So suppose you get $1,000 a month client, you charge them $1,000 and you grab the silver plan, and you're making $500 and change in profit, and you don't have to do anything other than transfer reports and things like that. Same kind of thing here, same kind of thing here. And if you need different levels and things like that, we can certainly do that for you too. Like I said, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat and if you want to jump on that, we've really been getting massive results for people the entire time, but lately we've really been knocking it out of the park for people. So I think it's a great opportunity, especially if you are if you're the kind of person that wants to just sell it and not sell SEO and not necessarily have the time to sit there and fulfill it and do things like that. So I think it's a great opportunity. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Let me go ahead and open up some of the questions that we are getting, and I'm going to turn the screen off for just a second while I get a better URL for that. So, and Rohin, do you want to add anything to what I just said?
No, that's it, Mike. The only thing I was going to say, and you have already mentioned that when you are ordering any package, or even if you are doing by yourself, try to actually be a bit patient. Try to keep some patience, because SEO is not something like we're going to start working in the very first month, we're going to come up to the page 1, because it's definitely going to take time. Because if you expect overnight results, then trust me, it's going to be like a spammers everywhere on Google, and Google doesn't need that. So we need time to build on authority. We need time to polish out your any kind of a spammy backlinks profile if you got one. And Google obviously is taking a lot of time these days to actually crawl the pages too. So if you're making any changes, then Google definitely needs time to do it, to crawl them, and then only we can see the credit out of it. So yeah, just be a little patient, and definitely it's gonna work for you.
Jim says, I have a couple DFY clients going right now with Chris and Rohin and can verify the service is a huge value. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Jim. You're always a pleasure to work with. Not always, but often. Up our face. Excuse, this is Barack. He says, excuse such a long question. If you don't mind, I'd love to hear both your perspectives. As far as I know, Chris tends to lean towards the community marketing, and from what I see, Rohin loves the technical stuff. So assuming the end goal is making some money from client SEO, how would you go about it? One, would you learn the labor that goes each step, then try to build a virtual team to focus on the marketing and use a white hat? agency, or 3, looks like it's going to say legit. I think it cut your question off, Barack. So if there's more to it, just add that to it. I'm in the middle of getting a better URL for the site. So Rohin, can you take a crack at that? And then by the time you're done, I'll be able to. That sounded bad.
Yeah, all right. I can hardly see my face now. But yes, coming to your question, what I really understand is technical SEO. Yes, that's what I love. I'm more into technical side. When you have got a big teams, we got a big team at the moment. So when you got a big teams, then obviously there's a lot of problems that do come up as well, Barack. And then that's where we get an opportunity, as far as we are passionate about our work, to go and start learning that thing so that you can teach them properly. And that's what I said. All the SOPs, majority of them I have created myself. Most of the automation I actually use my developers to tell them what I really want and do it. So yes, that's what we do. We work with virtual team as well, and we do have like in-house team too. So we work with mix of the clients. Some of the in-house team is actually virtual at the moment because of this Corona shit. But yes, I think that's what your main question is, isn't it? Or if I have missed something.
Yeah, what I would add to that is it really depends. And I know people hate this answer, but it depends on you. For example, there's a guy in Superstar SEO Academy, Travis, who really enjoys and is quite good at doing sales, and he focuses on that and outsources all the work. He's done both. He's outsourced some to DFY, but he's also outsourced some to Legit. If you prefer to do that sort of thing, that makes sense for you to focus on that. For example, for me, I don't really like doing SEO all that much, like the actual nuts and bolts of what to do. So I focus on the marketing and the community and the things like that help drive the business and fill the business and like manage the business and things like that. Rohin is more into the actual like nuts and bolts of doing SEO, at least that's my take on it. And I think I think he would agree with that. So he focuses more on that, although he does do a little bit of marketing as well. And I do, a bit of SEO as well. So I can't answer that for you. All of those approaches are valid. So it just depends on what your strengths and what your weaknesses are and what you prefer to do. So your brain is going to gravitate toward one or more of those approaches, and don't fight it. Like figure out what you're good at and go all in on it. Figure out what you're bad at, get it to a point where it's not going to kill you, but it's not. Don't try to turn a weakness into a strength because you can't. So I hope that made sense.
And one thing I'll do like to mention up here is, Chris, like, Barack, if you try to do everything by yourself, see, we are running so big show, and we've got a very good contacts with the writers. We have got super good contact with the bloggers and everyone. We still make a little bit of money out of it. But if you try to do everything by yourself, you're probably going to end up with the same amount of money which you have to spend sourcing someone else. Then if you're working with, let's say, whatever you plan to freeze your vendors, because switching from one place to another, it's not a good idea. You can never actually scale that way. You need to freeze your vendor. All right, this is the one guy I'm going after all my on-page side. This is the one I have to go after the off-page side, and just keep working with them. Focus on. So I'll probably go with point 2, what you have mentioned, that white label thing. If I get a chance, if I have to give an advice to a little Rohin, I'll probably tell him to go with step 2. Do a focus a little more on the marketing side and find the right people who can handle the back end show for you.
All right. Good answer. I have, and what's his name? There's one guy, Jonathan, that always picks on me for having all these URLs. But if you want to check out those packages, you can go to dfyseo.io. If that doesn't redirect, let me know, because I literally just set it up. But I just spent $30 on a domain live on a live stream. Vince asks, and I assume this is about the DFY package. I saw a message from you this morning, Vince. I only do my messages once a day, so I haven't had a chance to respond yet. But Rohin will answer this for you. Says, do you create social media accounts like Twitter, YouTube? I'm sorry?
We do create as much as we can, because some Facebook and Twitter, they have got those IP dramas. So we we don't really go and mess around with them, but we do create like block the brands on different social media profiles. Like I said, Google has got a big crush on brands. When you create a brand, that's a way you are telling Google that I'm a real brand, I have got an existence, and this is what they want to see. So yes, go and make it out. We always ask Twitter, Facebook, that kind of things. We always ask client to build from their particular IP. That's why it's just easy for them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we do some of the more, I don't want to say obscure, but not as well-known ones. But I agree with Rohin. Even like outside of what we're talking about today, that's a big part of my strategy, is building trust through social profiles, foundation links, Web 2.0s, and citations. A lot of the times that alone will get to page 2 along with on-site. So Akshay says they're a service to help with setting up Google Data Studio. I know there's one on Legit that from My Canonical Romance. He does a good job of that. Do you have a service for that?
No, we don't have a service for that, for Google Data Studio. So what you can actually do is you can hire someone from Legit and probably tell them what your requirements are. And it could be a lot more easy that way. So you tell them that you want the data coming in from Google Analytics, Google Search Console. If you've got an SEMrush account, you probably go and ask for SEMrush too, because that way you can actually present the client even the live rankings. So live rankings, they can go and see it for a bunch of keywords rather than giving them for all public links for rank tracker. Maybe it's good. People don't really care, but if you want, you can always go that way too.
Give me 1 second here, and I will send you one that I have used for Google Data Studio, because to me that's, oh boy, it's just completely flummoxes me when I try to set up that sort of thing. This guy does a really great job. He's a hidden gem on Legit.
Oh, great.
Here we go. I think this is the right one. Maybe not. Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not seeing it. Oh, here it is. Let me share that on the screen as well. I dropped the link to this particular service, but he can do it customized as well. But this is who you want, My Canonical Romance. He has a great sense of humor for that sort of stuff too. So there's that. Let's see. Full Boost Media. There's your free plug. Where do you have a Data Studio template at? Love to take a look. Do you have a template or not?
We do have a template, like I said. So I'll go share a screen one more time. So what we are using at the moment is, although we have got like 5 different kind of things up here, we have got Google Ads, we have got GMB, that kind of things too. So we use what the company is, Jepto Data Connector for GMB. That's the one we use. So what we do when we go and copy this, so you can use this one and go and copy it for a new client. You can just disable this. You're gonna see an eye up here. You can go and disable it. So the normal one, which you want 90% of the time, is just the Google Analytics, which is this one. So Google Analytics and Google Search Console.
You're not showing your screen. You're not showing your screen if you're trying to.
All right, because it's working at my end. Are you sure it's not working?
Hold on. Add to stream. There we go. All right, go for it.
All right. So what I was really saying, that we go and copy from our base template. This is not a base one. From here, once you go and copy it, you can actually go and attach all your different connectors, and you can turn it off and on, whatever you want. So we've got like 5 different kind of pointers up here: Google Ads, Facebook Ads, that kind of thing too. So we built a pretty detailed one. Even the GMP, you can see how many calls and everything. But once you go up here, you can white label with the logo, and this is where you can show them all the results. By the way, this stuff gonna get all by itself. You don't really need to do it. You just need to tell the client, tell your Data Studio guy that you want a feed coming in from Google Search Console or Google Analytics. And I'm very much sure if you try to Google it online, you're probably gonna find some free Data Studio templates for GSE and Google Analytics as well. So try that one too. The reason we built one, because we built it for our custom thing. Like I said, we have got this template one where we go and we create a backlinks. We add every month to that backlink for that particular client. It pulls in everything up here. So we got a custom need. So we built one for that. We even add the notes up here too, so that we can go and tell them what we did in that particular month. But you can either hire a data studio guy, or else there are plenty of templates. I'm telling you guys, if you try to search it, you're probably gonna find it too. So that's the one what we use.
All righty. Let's see. Yafar says, how do you write the copy for the landing page or gig description in a better way? If you want to check out legitfreelancingmastery.com, there is a whole video in there on that, but I will really quickly walk you through some points. So let me go over to my profile. And my favorite one that I've ever written is this one. So let me zoom in. Look at that handsome devil. So basically we start with, what you don't want to do is just tell people what you're going to do. You want to write a story. So this is, picture this. So that immediately makes people start picturing in their mind. And then you say, you've just written the client, optimized, but you're painting a picture for them. And then you hit a pain point. I think I spelled "you" wrong, but that's okay. You're stuck on page 2. That's a pain point. Then you start agitating the pain point with your client is, calling and complaining and they aren't seeing results. You've got bills to pay and a reputation to maintain. And then you're just making that pain hurt more. And then you tell them it's not your fault, because nobody ever thinks anything is their fault. And then you start relating to them. This is just basic sales copy. And then you relate to them. And then you have your aha moment, or I think Russell Brunson calls it your epiphany bridge. And then you talk about how you looked into it and you've got this secret super way after doing all this work, and how you cracked the code. That phrase works really well. And then you talk about the offer a little bit and how great it is. You show some social proof and some results. And it looks like some of my images got removed again. And then you just talk about the offer and what it'll do for them, and then some urgency. And yeah, some of my images are gone. That's lovely. And so on. So that's kind of it. But look over that video in legitfreelancingmastery.com, or just check out this particular service, which I think is just masterful. And it's sold, tens of thousands of dollars. So we talk about that all the time, but we're short on time. Steven says, where or what tool are you using to find the bad links? That's a good question. What do you prefer to find?
All right, Stephen, I use Href for all the link building kind of needs. I've got plenty of videos on that too. And now you said like bad links. There is no tool as such what I reckon which can, which can actually tell you the bad links. That's basically, you need to scan the results with the eyeballs and have to understand if this link is really relevant and can give me results. So if that looks spammy, then it's a very good chance it is spammy. So it's kind of an intuition what we always go with. Now, because we play with so much data, so many different profiles and everything we look at every single day, so it's easy for us to pick it up really quickly. But like you said, tools, I go with Href. That's my favorite one all the time.
Me as well. And to check out that service, you can go to dfyseo.io. If that's not working, let me know, because I literally just forwarded it.
No, it's working. I just checked it.
Oh, cool. That's on the fly right there. Rack says, excellent, guys. I really got what I was looking for. I feel I lean on the creative side. That's good to know. As anybody who saw my Photoshop earlier knows, I do not lean on the creative side. I'm not good at that at all. What I'm really good at, in my opinion, is creating community and using that community to help each other, and then in turn help myself and my businesses. So that's kind of my strength, and that's why I focus on that most of the time. And legit takes up literally all my waking hours. Barack says, appreciated. There is the link to the what do you call it, the data studio service. Local AdWords SEO tools says, what's your opinion on spun text for PBN links to money sites? Do you use spinners on your PBNs or nah? You don't really do PBNs anymore, do you?
No. I even, I don't use PBNs anymore. I'm more into different kind of things these days. And so yes, it's more control I need to do, because the PBN itself, like, I'm not saying PBNs are bad. PBNs are damn good, guys. It's still working. So if there is anyone who's gonna say the PBN doesn't work, it means that that guy doesn't know much about the whole thing. So PBNs do work, but there's a lot of management which you need to do. You need to play with the servers on a day-to-day side. You need to make sure everything is working properly. But we can't really take that much pain. So for me, we focus a lot more on the outreach side. It's a little costly, yes, but it's okay. We are still managing some profits out of it. But spun content, whichever the way you go, spun content is a big no. It's a 2012, 2014 thing. You should not use spun content, because if you are using the spun content on your PBN links, it's a very good chance that the PBN can get de-indexed very soon. Now I think Chris can say a bit more on that too.
Yeah, I agree. I do use PBNs heavily still, and I don't use spun content at all for literally anything. Yeah. You know, articles are $3-4 now. It's worth it to spend a little bit extra, and then and I've never found a spinner that worked worth a crap, in my opinion. Yeah, so exactly. I just don't do it.
Exactly.
Jim
but
says
the PBNs are fun.
Jim says +5 bonus points for using the word flummoxed. Thank you. I'm going to figure out how to cash those points in at some point. DevBD asked, what is DAS profiles? He's talking about from, let me bring it back up here.
And so DAS is domain authority stacking, and that's one of a way how we go and interlink all those profiles together, because we try to distribute the link flow and topical relevancy from one profile to the another. And this is one of a very different way which we have used. Over the years we have made so many changes in this task structure. So at the moment I think it's version 3 or version 4 what we're using, but it's really great way to distribute the geographical and topical relevancy to your target pages, because so as to sustain them better in rankings. It just works for us. We do it for all our projects, even for our client projects too.
So just to break that down a little bit to a little bit more of a beginner level, is that DAS stands for domain authority stacking. What that is where you take high domain authority, and I don't mean the Moz metrics, I mean powerful properties, and link them together in a format that will push the juice from one to the next to the next to the next onto your money site. So that's what that is. And then the more profiles you have, the more powerful it is. So that's what that is here. So hopefully that answered that. Florence says, what if I get a request for doing SEO for a website, but I've never done it before for money? How should I set a price? Any tips? How to? I'm torn by this, because part of me thinks that you should be upfront and tell them that you don't have experience doing SEO, because you could really do some long-term damage to their business if you don't know what you're doing. But if you do want to offer it, I don't want to discourage anyone from making any money either. So I would be upfront with them and then do it for just your cost or for free, and then go from there. If you have the offer, you don't want to turn it down, but you don't want to take something that you. And there are salespeople that would disagree with me on this, and I get that perspective, but I don't want you to take on something where you can literally harm someone's life if you do the wrong thing. So I would do that, is offer to do it for free and be upfront about it, or at cost if you want to outsource it to somebody like us or whatever. So I don't know. That's kind of how I would handle that. What about you?
Well, I think he's talking from how should I set a price. I think he's talking from in case he wants to order one of our packages, maybe, just in case. All right. So in that particular case, we have already given for one URL, this is how much we're going to cost, and we can charge, and for 3 and 5. And then you need to go and ask like client how many URLs, or maybe they wanted having an idea, because majority of time, whoever do the business, they do the business. They don't really get into this SEO side. So yes, in that particular case, I would say, you need to check it out all by yourself. Do refer the last live stream on SEO Audit. Pick it up, whichever the pages need a vote.
So what you're saying is to pick one of these packages and then kind of offer it to the client, but don't tell them that you're selling them packages. Just pick a package like that, mark it up a little bit for your time, and then just go with that. Yeah. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that could be the way to go. And down the track, once you get a bit of a good idea, you probably can actually set the pricing pretty easily by that.
Yeah. Okay. Wasist says, damn, I'm a little late, but everyone liked the stream. My man. Johan says, would you set everything up for a client, analytics, console, etc.? Client is not at all tech savvy and can't do it himself. How would you go about that? I'll answer that and then I'll let you say how you'll go about it. I would say to go ahead and do that because I think that's an important part of your SEO campaign anyway. It gives you data that you need. And this may come off wrong to some people, but the more stuff you set up for them that they don't know how to do and don't want to know how to do, the longer you're going to keep that client. So if you set all that up for them and they don't want to be bothered with it, but they do want the results, you're going to keep them a lot longer. So I say set that up for them. Plus it only takes a few minutes. So
yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, see, we are not doing exactly for the client. Client doesn't need the GSE, Google Analytics, that kind of things. We are doing for ourselves. We need the data. Without the data, we cannot really do anything. And I don't really know how come the SEOs, they go and start working on the project from the day one without having the data. So in my agencies, in my SOPs, we are very clear about that we go and collect the data. We keep on sending the messages to the client. If they can't do it, we can go and do it themselves. That's not a problem at all. For Google Analytics, Google Search Console, it doesn't take too long to set them up. But you have to do it. You need the data because especially Google Search Console. Once you do this with Google Search Console, Google gonna start generating all the impressions, gonna show the impressions, and then we can start picking up all those keywords. We can start adding them nicely over the months in our web copies, and that way we can give more better results to the clients. So yes, again, this is not I'm doing for the client, I'm doing for myself. So I'm more than happy to actually take a pain. And like I said, whoever do the business, they do the business. They're not tech savvy, like you have already mentioned. So we need to give them a hand, and that's more about the trust building.
Yeah, I agree. I have very, very good relationships with my clients. Like, for example, there's one guy who's been with me for 4.5 years now. That's longer than both my marriages combined. So build that long-term relationship with them and get to know them, and what not customize, but tailor what you do and do not give them as far as information to that individual too. So that I think that helps me retain people for a long time. So that might make a good topic at some point, is how to retain clients.
Yep.
Jafar says, this was really informative, Chris, for sure. Thank you. Local AdWorks SEO tools says, for bad links spotting, you can use a configurable toxic link scanner, typical configurations, obvious domain authority, etc., but also links out per page, total links from domains, etc. That's cool. Do you use anything other than Ahrefs, or just Ahrefs?
I just use Ahrefs, and with spotting on the links, I think over the years we have got a very good vision to actually pick it up on the fly. So I don't know how could I actually answer this properly. You can actually add some Google Sheet formulas and can actually pull the data into Google Sheet and start and do a condition formatting kind of thing to pick it up those guys. So yes, if there is any, you are using, let's say you are using a money anchor on some social profile, then it's not good. If I be having a logins, I'll probably go and change it, or else I'll add it to the to this one, what do we call to that one, disable file. So I'll add that link to a disable file. But yes, we do scan and we can pick it up very easily. But for yours, you need to actually build some kind of like an easy way in Excel to pick them up. So I don't know if I'm
answering this question when people ask me how to spot a bad link, because like I just kind of know, you know what I mean? Like it's not, does it check this or this? You just kind of can tell from looking at it after you get some experience. So I never have come up with a great way to answer that question.
Or else I can actually mention, I think there is a URL. So a very good friend of mine, the upperranks.com, he has got, so if you type in upper ranks in Google and then put link prospector next to that. So they've got a tool in which you can go and paste up to 60 URLs. So up to 60 URLs and press the button, and they're gonna pull the screenshots for all those URLs. Doesn't matter if it's a home page or inner page, they're gonna pull the information, keep on scrolling, whichever the links you doesn't know, just add them to reject. And at the last, just take it out, all those reject links, and put them in a disable or whatever you want to do with them. but it's a good tool. I need to go and remember. I don't know the upper rank, and they've got. So I'll go and find out that particular link, and I'll send it to you guys in the comment box.
Cool. Wasa says, Chris, that FB video on FB ads with the upcoming birthday trick was fire. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's something I modified from somebody else that I saw. That what he's talking about is a video I did yesterday in my Profit Academy program about Facebook ads and how you can advertise to people whose birthday it is. So I'm gonna drop that in there if you want to check that out.
Chris,
totally
I've sent you that URL I've sent you that URL in private chat, so you probably can actually copy that and paste it in the comment section, please.
Okay, give me just a second. And yes, you can check that out. It's totally free. But yeah, I think that was a cool technique. I already started using it myself. So if you guys want to check out that video, it's in profitacademydaily.com. So. Local ad work SEO tools. It says, yes, agree. PBNs work, but if you haven't got them already set up, they're more work than doing the job properly now and still risky too. I mean, they're no more risky than most types of links if they're done correctly, but you're right. They are a huge management challenge with a lot of overhead. And if you aren't going to have a lot of clients, it's probably not worth it. So
yeah, I agree.
There is a link to that.
Link prospector. So once you open this up, you're probably going to see a box where you can copy the links from Href and throw them in this particular one, trigger the button, and it will go and take a couple of seconds or a minute, depending on your internet connections, and they will pull up all the front-end connections. So anywhere you get an intuition that it is not a relevant link, it can harm me, then just go and disable that link. That's an easy answer what I can give you for your question.
All right. Steven says SEMrush has a tool that recommends links to remove, but sometimes I think some of them you can keep. I guess what you're saying is you ultimately make the decision. Yeah, I don't like those tools that you say remove this, 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 and this, especially the Moz spam score, which I absolutely hate. So I prefer to use my own judgment and maybe use those tools as a starting point. But yeah, so there's that. Barack says, or jump in on the deal above, Florin. Yeah. Florin says, no, but I did it for free. Some people I know with good results, but I'm talking to monetize. I think we answered that for you after I answered it incorrectly. Local AdWorks SEO tools says, yes, bad link identification is a judgment call. The tools need to be configurable, but you need a tool that automatically finds them. Otherwise, it would take hours and you'd still do a bad job at it. Autry says, have you noticed it's taking longer for Google to index pages, or is it just me?
No, it is actually. It is taking, even for a new pages, if your site doesn't have an authority, for example, it's probably going to take up to a month as well these days. So it's pretty annoying, I know.
Johan says, nice answers, thanks, and thanks for a great informative live session. Well, thank you, Johan. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Steven says, thanks, local AdWorks. Autry says, a second question. I've always done local SEO websites with landing pages for the various suburbs around. I'm working on a project that covers 3 states. Speak to the difference in SEO approach. So when you have a state or a project with multiple states, how do you go about it?
Well, that's area served. So what I normally do in that particular case is I build individual silo for every single state. So if it's like let's say if it's Victoria and you're going to rank for Melbourne, Geelong, all different areas, and then what you're going to do is you're going to build out your silo structure. So it all comes down to the silo structure. The thing, SEO is the same. It's not different at all, guys. It's just the same. You still need backlinks. You need to add a local relevant information into that to build geographical relevancy in that particular landing page. That's how the Google gonna understand like what this page is about and where this area is located. All right. Yes, there is one thing I like to mention: schema. If you get like a different GMBs for everyone, then you need to add individual schema details to every single page. So if you've got a Melbourne, add a different one for Melbourne. If it's a Brisbane, add a different one for Brisbane. But your question is all about like what is different SEO approach. Approach is same. It's just a different silo structure which you need to build.
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot more work, a lot more time. Yeah. And there's Profit Academy Daily. Yeah, the video Wasis is talking about is in there, as well as another daily post or email or video almost every single day. So I think it's probably my favorite thing that I offer right now, even though it's totally free. So check that out if you want, or even if you don't want. Gary says, which type of backlinks get indexed faster and can show the results in ranking within a month? If you're looking to get results in a month, you probably are going to be disappointed because, like Rohin said, sometimes just getting an index will take a month. So
Yeah,
I don't know. How would you answer this?
or else you need to go with the approach which I said, quick win keywords. So go to href.com, go to drop their website, go to organic keywords, pick it up, anything which is from position 5 to 20 or even 5 to 15. Start working on those ones. Those are index pages already. Those are sitting on very close to the page one. Once you start working there, if they climb it up on the on first top 3 or top 4 positions, they're gonna bring in a lot of traffic to the client side. So that's how we do it to add a value to the client in the very first months. At the same time, we start working on the new pages. So epic content is another thing. You need to create like a evergreen kind of a product. So it all, Gary, everything comes down to the project to project. Not every project is the same. We always, when we start working on any project, we always try to look at what the top 10 results are doing. And then we freeze our keywords, what we have to work, and then we see what the top 10 results are doing, and then we start working on them.
Yeah. Also, though, I would not promise a client a first page ranking in a month, no matter what. So just be careful if you're talking about for a client, be very, very careful what you tell them and so on. So
exactly.
Florin says, thanks, guys. I'll definitely use that DFY when I get a client, and I'll take it from there to see. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Owen says, when you've seen a keyword rank drop massively across the board in one day, and it's now bounced back after a week and checked all the common problems through GSC lost links, what would you suggest?
All right. So that depends on project to project again. I don't know if I can give you one thing gonna fit all kind of a model up here, because
just some general points, general things to check.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on, let's say maybe it's malware. It's a malware in the site, and that's where the things can happen. Or maybe it could be some other reasons. So we need to look at the site, and then only we can give you a definite answer about it. It's trust me, it's really, really hard without looking at the site to see or diagnose what the problem is, how we can go and fix it up.
If everything you're saying is true, one thing I would do would be to go into Google Search Console and resubmit your sitemap, and then ask Google to crawl the site again. I've seen that twice now, where some site was ranking good and then just completely disappeared from rankings. No penalty, no bad links, nothing like that. And it just we got it recrawled and it came right back. So that's one place to start. But I agree with Rohin that without more info, it's a little bit tough. So Autry says, any tips to get Google to crawl more? I see lots of difference on my sites, and I'm not sure why, referring to legacy crawl tool.
And tips to get Google to crawl more. It's a lot of difference on my different sites. See, it's a problem going on at the moment with the Google. I don't know if they are more busy with this Corona updates and all that on day-to-day basis, but for the past 2 months, it is actually taking a lot of time. But one thing what you can actually check is, I don't know if you guys have got an expertise to actually check the server log analysis. So you need to check the server log, because that tells you a lot of things. It's a very advanced level stuff. Screaming Frog has got a free tool for server logs where you can actually pull in the data from your cPanel and put it, and they can tell you a lot more. But to answer your question, without any kind of information I've got, the only thing I can say is you need to wait. That's the only thing, because by the end, it's up to Google whenever they're gonna come, how they're gonna come, but we need to wait.
Yeah. And there's Chris says dfyseo.io. DevBD says, my GMB don't have an address, just service. Will GPS listings work for me?
Well, if it's just an address, probably, maybe yes, we do create GPS listings, but it's like 5 to 6 different profiles only with the latitude and longitude positioning. So we pick it up that particular area, and then we try to build a GMB listing for that particular area. So it's very much, we go and map that area in GPS listings and tell, all right, the client, belongs to this particular location. So Google build a geographical relevancy and give a credit for that particular area. So it's more like a proximity signals what we create with GPS listings. So yes, it'd still be okay.
All right. Autry says, shout out to Chris. I buy links from him monthly. My man. Owen says, cheers, Chris. We'll give that a go. Owen says, excuse me. Thanks, Rohin. I'll send you a message. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I think we are at the end of the questions. Excuse me again. I know it's getting late for you. We can go ahead and wrap up. Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about before we do that?
Well, the only thing what I was going to say, if you're good at marketing, probably focus on marketing, because SEO, there's a lot of things been changing. You need to build out a team to do the things. So yeah, I'm not saying you should hire us, but probably freeze out your vendors list and start working with them on day-to-day basis. And your focus should be on a marketing one. That way you can actually scale it up really quickly. Apart from that, I already mentioned, go with the data studio kind of thing if you are not want to use any other paid software or so. Because what happens is with data studio, you're going to show them overall credibility for their website. Because you are going to pick it up the keywords from Google Search Console. You are going to pick it up the keywords, low-hanging fruits of that kind of thing. Maybe the client hasn't given you those keywords, and maybe you are not going to add those keywords in Rank Tracker. And whatever keywords they have given you are more competitive, and the second month or third month or 4 months, they're going to see, all right, these keywords are not moving, because they can't really see the overall keyword which you have pulled in. And they're going to say, all right, they're going to pull the trigger and say, no, I don't want to continue with you guys. But you have added a lot of value to them in reality. So this is why what I'm saying, you need to focus on, it's the best advice I can give you, to focus on the overall reporting structure and show it to them on monthly basis. They're going to be super duper happy, because it's been happening with us. For us, every client, when we get the feedback from them, they say, all right, the reporting structure is great. It's really helping us, and put the things on retainer.
All right. One more question, and then we're going to wrap up. Brock says, I hear a lot about niching down for services like social media marketing or Facebook ads. I reckon that would be like shooting our own foot in SEO. Would you agree? Building a business wise. Yeah. I'm not sure I follow. Are you saying that you should only offer one type of service or to one type of industry? The answer to me is that you can offer additional services if you have the staff to implement them effectively. As far as an industry, what I recommend is focusing on one with your outreach and like branding yourself as one. But if somebody in another one comes along and says, can you help me? Then help them too. So that's kind of my answer to that. What are your favorite links? Niche edits, PBNs. I like guest posts in PBNs. What are your favorite too?
Pretty much. We use niche edits, we use guest posts, we use PBNs, but we use at the tier 2 level mainly.
Yeah.
People,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. PBNs, like I said, we don't have a network. We don't use our own network that way, because we don't use network. We go and take the services from Chris and other guys, and that way we only build links which we have a proper control as tier 1s. So it's not saying you can always use PBNs as well. So yes, I use guest post, niche edit, PBNs. If the client budget is super cool, then we go after skyscraper or infographic outreach kind of a techniques too. But if they're okay, then I usually stick with them, because there's a lot of effort involved with outreach campaigns.
Autry asks, links to LinkedIn Rohin service you white label. We do white label, and that service is dfyseo.io. That'll take you to, let me go ahead and bring it up one more time. Let me make sure I've got that. I've in the past, I have opened links that I shouldn't on live streams. That will take you to a page like this, and we have the 3 different packages: the silver, the gold, and the platinum. The main differences between them are how many keywords and URLs you get. And it's a great deal. We get tons of results for people. We've broken it out exactly like what you're going to get and how good the quality is and stuff like that. So there's no guesswork. You get a live account manager and, monthly reporting, and we're always there for questions too. So check that out at dfyseo.io. That'll take you right to my site, and you can check that out. And if for some reason you need a credit card instead of PayPal, let me know, and I can get you a different link from there. So definitely check that out, dfyseo.io. User industry. Yeah, I think you kind of answered that. All right. I think that that's a good place to stop. And I know it's getting late for you, so thank you for taking the time out of your evening to do this. We'll probably do this again in another 2 weeks or so. But it's always a pleasure. I learn a lot from these. I think everybody else does. So thank you for taking the time to hang out with us.
Thanks for that, Chris. And I really appreciate your time too. And thanks everyone. Any questions, just leave it to this chat box up here and I'll see the Facebook comments in the morning. And if there is anything where you need assistance, we'll definitely come and help you guys with that.
Right. And programming note, on Friday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have Nick Slee, who many of you know from the groups and from JIT, from other places for doing press releases. He's going to be coming on, talking to us about press releases, and may even be a little bit of a discount on press releases available to you if you want to hang out for that too. So that's going to be on Friday, which is 2 days from now at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, all right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll do this again soon. I'll see you Friday, or I'll see you next time. Most of all, figure out which one in life. Go out and get it, because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. Talk to you later. Peace.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.